This is Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two, and next to me is my second in command, Tucker. He's from Junction Point Studios. He's here to tell us all about Epic Mickey 2. Now, the first thing you notice is it's not just Mickey standing by himself. He's got somebody next to him, and it seems like an odd choice because, you know, it was his enemy from game one. Tell us about that.
Well, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is basically a very old Disney character, one of Walt's first cartoons that Walt lost the rights to Universal. Disney was able to reacquire him for Epic Mickey, and fitting in with the 80 years of Disney history, it just was a perfect match for Wasteland. And in Epic Mickey 1, Oswald was getting tricked by the Mad Doctor because the Mad Doctor wanted to become a toon again. And then later in the game, Oswald realizes he was being deceived, and he worked together with Mickey to save Wasteland.
So when you see 2 stars on a marquee, you expect does he get equal billing? Are we going to be able to play as both of these characters?
Yeah, Epic Mickey 2 features full drop-in, drop-out cooperative play. So basically, a friend can jump into you next on the couch, hit one button, and be immediately playing the game with you. If your friend has to go, he can hit a button again, AI takes over, it is entirely seamless for the whole game.
So are these levels always two characters, either you and a friend or you and an NPC, or are there some solo campaign stuff too?
The only solo level in the game is the Yensid's Lab tutorial portion where we introduce new players to the painting and brush mechanic. Oswald is introduced immediately afterward, and every other level in the game is entirely co-op.
So Mickey has a paintbrush, what does Oswald have?
Oswald has a remote control that he can use to activate electronic machinery, reprogram enemies, stun bosses, and a whole bunch of other different things.
Can he hack? Can he be like J.C. Denton a la Deus Ex and hack terminals?
He doesn't have any sunglasses, but he can still reprogram terminals and change enemy allegiances. He can open doors with them and do a whole bunch of other really interesting stuff.
So one of the interesting things we saw, you talk about going back to the pantheon of Disney. This game, in a way, goes back to the roots of platform games because there are actually some 2D levels, correct?
Yeah, just like in Epic Mickey 1, there are a lot of 2D cartoon transitions that are based on old, very, very beloved Disney properties. So the one we have in the demo today was the Old Mill, based on the Silly Symphony cartoon. So we have a lot of those in the game. They were a big hit in Epic Mickey 1, so we got a lot of awesome cartoons for Mickey 2. I can't tell you guys which one we used, but I guarantee everyone is going to be really happy with what we did.
So what about the integration of co-op then? I mean, that really changes the face of a platform game when you go from just, I can do everything myself, to I need a little bit of help to reach the next level.
Yeah, so co-op plays a very interesting part in the game. I mean, traditionally, you're right, platforming is usually a single-player affair, but co-op, we built the game so that no player is basically, you're 100% dependent on Oswald to help you out, but he's there to let you see 100% of the game if you want to do that. So Oswald can help you get on other platforms, you can get up to different places, you can fly across gaps that would be hazards, and all sorts of other stuff. So it really brings a new dimension to the game in co-op.
How about fan service? Now, Epic Mickey was pretty encompassing as far, well, I mean, you can never cover all of Disney lore, but you did a really good job on the first one. So what kind of things, how do you go back into the catalog, into the archives, and pick things for the second go-around?
Well, we have at least 80 years of Disney history in the game. Almost everything in the game is based in part or entirely on a Disney property. For example, in the Mickey's House level, there's like a radio setup in there, like a radio, and that's based on an old Mickey cartoon. Almost everything in the game comes from a cartoon, either a background piece, a character said it once, it was in a movie, it was in a Mickey short. It sounds crazy, but it's all in there. So fans of the property will be able to see those and be like, oh, hey, I recognize that from that Silly Symphony cartoon, or oh, hey, that was from Brave Little Tailor, or this or that.
We covered the platforming and co-op. How about the boss levels? How do you get boss levels that are worthy of Mickey Mouse?
Well, basically, the boss levels take full advantage of both Mickey and Oswald's skill sets, so both players can have a lot of fun in both roles. And the bosses are all based on historic Disney properties. The one we saw in the demo here is based on the Electric Light Parade float of the Peach Dragon. So it's a Blotworks dragon, but that's where we got the inspiration from it. And when you see the other bosses in the game, I think you'll agree that they also leverage all this old Disney history, and they're a lot of fun for both players.
So that's Epic Mickey 2 coming out for a variety of platforms, and will we see it this year?
November 18th this year on Wii, 360, PS3.
So grab a friend if you got one, and dig into Epic Mickey 2 this fall.